Hi everyone, welcome to another week of Check It Out, where I recommend titles that you can learn from, connect with, and explore. This week's title is Cape by Kate Hannigan. This is a really unique novel. I would categorize this as historical fiction, fantasy, and graphic novel all in one. I love this book. It is so fascinating. Definitely different reading experience. I can kind of show you here that it's part prose and part comic book, which is awesome for this time period because the book takes place throughout World War II. So the story is that Josie O'Malley, who is an Irish immigrant, is living in Philadelphia, trying to help her mom make ends meet by holding down a job in a diner. But her true love lies in puzzling and code breaking. So she and her best friend Emmett go to a government agency to take a test in order to learn how to become puzzlers to help in the war effort. While she's there taking the test, the proctor of the test actually is dividing the tests into two categories, one for females and one for males. And at the end of the test, he throws all of the female tests away and just keeps the males' tests. And that really upsets Josie and two of her other companions who are taking the test as well. And their names, they're pictured on the front here with Josie. This is Josie in the middle. Their names are Akiko, who's Japanese American, and May, who is an African American. And what I love about this is it's a really great, diverse set of characters, and they all play pivotal roles in the history of World War II, which is fantastic. So you have this historical fiction aspect to the book. But there's also this graphic novel aspect to the book, which kind of plays into this whole superhero trope. So this is almost like an alternate reality where superheroes are real and they've gone missing. And Josie has her favorite superheroes. She carries around a comic book about her favorite superheroes. And the girls discover that they have their own powers. And they're going to use them to help fight in the war effort. They all have someone that they love fighting in the war, and this is the way that they're going to help. They're going to use their smarts and they're going to use their superpowers, which I just love. So I love a lot of aspects of this book, but one of the biggest things that I loved about this book was the fact that Josie's cousin, Kate, is a real person in history. She actually existed. She was a human computer who worked for ENAC, which is a real entity, and they were actual human computers, and they were integral to helping the war effort and solving a lot of different codes and breaking a lot of different codes. So you can read more about that. At the end of the book, there's an author's note that talks all about ENAC and who Kate was. So I found that really fascinating. I love that this is how she tied together this really interesting set of themes into one novel and made it like an alternate history. So there's a lot of different things kind of sucking you in. There's the superhero aspect to it, which I think is fascinating and fun. There is the World War II aspect of it that you learn a lot about the experiences of immigrants. Because all of these girls are immigrants. All of these girls are coming from somewhere else. May is coming from Chicago. Akiko's family are actually in a Japanese concentration camp. And like I said before, Josie's family are Irish immigrants. So you see a little bit of the racism that they were facing during the time period and some of the struggles that they had to overcome. So overall, I really love this. I think it's a great book. I thought it pulled together lots of different aspects during that time period. So themes of the book: everyday superheroes, girl power, of course. I mean, look at that. That's girl power right there. And helping to fight in the war effort in a variety of different ways. So figuring out what your own personal superpower is. So I have to suggest my read-alikes as well. Hidden Figures, about the human computers who helped send astronauts into space. Very famous book, fantastic book. I've recommended it before. And for all the superhero loving people out there, Wonder Woman by Leigh Bardugo. This is so fun. And in the author's note, she talks a little bit about what inspired Cape. And part of that was thinking what came before Wonder Woman. And there's actually a bit of history about the history of comic books. So if you like comic books and superheroes, this is a good one to check out as well. So with that, I hope you found something to book up your week. Thanks, everyone.